Retro Kevo back again with another little video. Now, even though I call myself Retro Kevo, because the bulk of my sort of content is about older games, even older films, which I spoke about in the last upload to do with Halloween and horror stuff. But I do play modern games, and I thought, you know what, for a change, I'm going to talk about 4 games I've really enjoyed that are a lot more modern, as in PS4 and PS5. You saw what they are in the thumbnail, and I'm a big fan of the Terminator. Let's be honest, the first 2 Terminator films, and I love the soundtrack as I've got there. I didn't really care for anything else after that. I left the cinema disappointed many times watching many of the sequels. Oh, there was one thing I liked, that Terminator Zero on Netflix. I think it was called Terminator Zero. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but that anime on Netflix I thought was very good. You know, the people who made that obviously cared about the franchise, and I really did enjoy that. And I don't know if they're planning on doing it anymore. But yeah, the first game, obviously, is going to be Terminator Resistance. This is a PS5 copy. It's also available on the PS4, but I've got some gaming footage you can look at while I'm talking. But yeah, it's a really great game. It's what, for me, the Terminator 3 film should have been. It's set in the future after the war, nuclear war triggered by Skynet, and it's a barren landscape, and you play Jacob Rivers, a private, and you're sort of wandering around and bumping into other human survivors, and you're also looking for other soldiers. You're looking for other battalions or your own battalion to find out what the next stage is in the plan. So basically you're trying to survive, really, and you sort of start off with the usual crap weapons, which is really loyal to the first couple of films. You've got a shotgun quite early in the game, and you realise soon enough you know, it's pretty shit. It'll knock out a Terminator for about 5 seconds, but that's it. So as you progress, you've got to find more modern weapons that will take out Terminators. And also, I'll tell you the other thing, there's lovely little Easter eggs in this game. And I found a few. Here's one here for you to look at, and that's to do with the soundtrack here. But they're nice little Easter eggs if you're a big fan of the series. But yeah, as I say, it really builds up to a lovely finale. It's quite a short game, I think. And that's not a short game for me, because I've said it many times, I'm not the greatest guy. I love gaming, obviously. I wouldn't do the channel otherwise, but I'm not the best. You don't have to be the best, really. But I get a lot of hours out of even a game people say, oh, that's only 20 hours long. And I'll still get 100 hours out of the game. It takes most people 20 hours. But yeah, it builds up quite nicely without giving it away. I don't really want to give spoilers away in case you end up playing the game. But it almost would, if they made this the third film, it would have rounded off a lovely trilogy, I think, in a way that the thing would go round in a circle. That would make sense if you finish the game. But yeah, also, other than Jacob Rivers, you can play as a T-800 Terminator in the game, trying to kill humans, obviously. Now, I've not played that part of the game. I will play it. It's a DLC, but I think it's probably there easily enough to play. But yeah, that sounds quite interesting as well. So yeah, if you fancy that sort of stuff and you're a fan of the first couple of Terminator films anyway, give it a go. You know what? Got nothing to lose. Oh, except the 20 quid or so you might have to pay to buy. But don't blame me if you dislike it. I'll tell you what, these are just my opinions, so you may not have liked it if you played it. But yeah, I really liked it. So that's the first one, Terminator Resistance. Great game. Now let's crack on to the next. Right, on to the next one, which is Mad Max. You know, I really thoroughly enjoyed this game. This is the one I'm only about halfway through, so I can't give you the full story, but I never give spoilers away anyway. But yeah, I loved the first couple of films way back in the day. I wasn't a big fan of Mad Max Thunderdome. But the recent ones, I've not seen Furiosa, but Mad Max Fury Road, it's one of the best action films I've ever seen at the cinema. I thought some of the set pieces are absolutely out of this world, and the directors and writers obviously cared. I think that's the thing that matters most of the time. If they care about the subject matter, you might get a decent film, and that was a great film. But onto this, got some gaming footage again, but this one, it's a revenge sort of game again. At the start, you get your car stolen from you, you're left for dead. Obviously, you survive. You're going up with this guy called Chum Bucket, and he's a sort of deformed human who's a mechanic, and he helps you rebuild the Magnum Opus, or rebuild a Magnum Opus car to help you on your sort of vendetta. And ultimately, you're fighting the gang, the guy who beat you up at the start, left you for dead, Warlord, Scabrous, and his Scrotus gang. And it's your job to find them, get some revenge. I'm not quite there yet, so I don't know the full story, but yeah, what's not to like? You're driving around the plains of the desert and you're looking for fuel, scampering around, trying to stay alive, many battles, car battles as you drive around, and you're building up the strength of your car. And you know what, Really, really great. There's imagery, some set pieces in the game so far, absolutely fantastic. So yeah, Mad Max, if you're a fan of the franchise of Mad Max and you haven't played this game, definitely worth it. It's really connects well with the whole story of Mad Max. So yeah, give it a go. Mad Max PS4. On to the next one now. This is one of my favourite modern games of all time. Gone under the radar a little bit, but Under the Waves. I've mentioned it before. PS5. I don't know how I heard about this game actually, but I'm so grateful I did, because it's just, the story is excellent. It's very story driven. The graphics, you know, really they're more like PS4, really nothing special, but that's not what the game is about. It's about the story. Your name's Stan, and I'm showing some footage again, and you're a deep sea diver working for a company, and something's happened in your life. You're sort of split up from your wife, Emma. You talk to Emma occasionally via sort of communication computer in your base under the water. And also you talk to a guy called Tim, who's your boss for the company, and you go around under the sea, obviously, doing jobs. It sounds a bit boring, but it really draws you in, this game. Also, without giving any spoilers, it's like The Abyss. James Cameron again. If you know the film The Abyss, there's links to that film in this game. But basically, without giving spoilers away, it's a story of grief and getting over things that happen in your life and isolation. The whole game feels isolated, but for me, sometimes I like that. I like putting on a game and I want to sit there in silence and play a nice quiet game. And the music to this game is excellent. It's ambient music, and it just really draws you in, as I say. But yeah, you go around doing your jobs under the sea. As I say, it sounds boring, or under the waves. Sounds boring, but it all builds up to a climax about something that's happened in the past. Great conversations between Stan and his wife and Tim. And as I say, the connection with the film The Abyss is very close to me. But yeah, it's got a great ending, and there's more than one ending to the game. You basically get to choose. But yeah, I love this game. Under the Waves. I really recommend it. If you like a game of isolation and a thoughtful game, you know, definitely check it out. It's worth a look. Right, on to the last one, which I really thoroughly enjoyed. It's Control. Now let me know if you played it or what you thought about it. I know everybody didn't get on with Control, but personally I really love this game. There's some gaming footage of the game, but you play Jess Faden, and it's one of those games where you don't really know what's going on. It's like being in a massive episode of The X-Files. Your character Jess walks into this building in New York. It's the Bureau of Control, and right from the start it's really weird and eerie. The building basically has been taken over by a supernatural force called the Hiss, but it turns out your character has a connection. There was an event in her past, and it's all connected with her brother. Now once Jess is in the building, you learn that she has a lot of control. She's the director, which turns out is obviously through a family thing, and she's got this unique power. She's able to control a weapon, which is a supernatural gun, and also what is really great in this game is she acquires the power of telekinesis. So she can do things in the game that other characters can't do, and basically you're trying to find out what's going on. You're moving through the building. The building is controlled, as I say, by this supernatural force called the Hiss. It's always chattering. You hear it chattering in the background, really eerie. And the game has got some massive nods to the X-Files. It's even got the smoking guy smoking a cigarette. But yeah, I really love this game. I really love the idea that you didn't really know what was going on, and your character is trying to work things out as she goes. But it's really eerie, really sort of dreamlike, and there are some great sequences in this game. One of the sequences is there's some lovely bit of sort of rock music that they use, and it works so well. Now they're making this apparently into a film or a TV show or something, Remedy. I just hope they get it right. You know, a lot of these things they get wrong, but yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed Control. I can't recommend it enough. If you're a person who doesn't need to know everything in the game as you're playing it, and you're just doing a lot of guesswork, and that's part of the story, not knowing what's going on, give Control a go. As I say, great action sequences, great story, just a great feeling to the game. I loved it. It had that eeriness. Oh yeah, I absolutely love this game. So that's Control. But anyway, that was 4 games, modern games, 2 on the PS4, 2 on the PS5, that I really, really enjoyed. I just thought I'd share that with you, instead of talking about the old games. But don't worry, 90% of the content will always be about the older stuff. Well, that's why I'm called Retro Kev. Anyway, like and subscribe if you like the content, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.